Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me back on this journey into the ecological dynamics and constraints-led approach for grappling. My name is Sam Fields, otherwise known as Sam Battlefields, and I'm talking today about the first time I think I've ever enthusiastically gone to a takedown class. And I had to sort of have a bit of a think about this, but I did a bit of prepping for today. Games wise, I know the games that I want to use this week. I think for me there's a couple of things that I want to keep in mind, but essentially I want to get to the end of the technique. So what is the anatomy of everything that you need to finish a takedown, right? So for example, today, and I want to do this throughout the week, but today was, if we have the back and we've got our arms secured around them, what are the things we need? Well, as the person who is on the back, we want their hips connected into us, and we want to be taking their balance. We want to be putting it either on one foot or blocking a foot, or all these different things. But what I really wanted to do is show, we'll start out at literally, I've got the arms around my opponent, and my opponent is just trying to separate the hands. So separate the hands, that's it. Get out, but separate the hands. And it was, I didn't teach any of the fucking stuff, and still people were hips forward, and they were trying to pull their hips away from what I want as a person. I want the hips in, they want their hips out, so that my arms are stretched, so that there's less strength. So, if we're here, I'm strong. If we're here, I'm not so strong. You can't really see that. Sorry. Anyway, don't worry about it. And then and so we did that. We rotated. Two people went. They then swapped over positions. Then someone jumped in with someone. Then they swapped over positions. Then another person swapped in, and it just went round like that. So we all got a chance to kind of feel what someone else's boundaries is, I suppose. I think I can do that better though. Now that I think about it, I think what I could do is just have one person go through. I'll have to have a think about that further. But I liked what we were doing anyway. It was solid. So yeah. Anyway, we had this. So takedowns. First one, just try and break that grip. The second one was literally the person's trying to put them on their ass, or make them touch the ground with either their knees or their hands. Two really simple things, right? And the person is trying to stay up and break away from the thing. So what are we trying to do here? Well, obviously, if you're putting someone on their ass, or you're putting someone on their hands, you've got a takedown. That's a fucking takedown, alright? Now, granted, you've got to get to the back first, but what I would like to do is, just like with tomorrow's game, for example, I'm going to just get them in single leg, alright? And then say, put their butt on the ground. That's it, alright? That's going to be tomorrow's game. But yeah, the thing about having this is, if I could lift them up as well, and their feet were off the ground, that was also considered a win, like a task complete. So what we discovered was, as people are they start dropping their hips out and trying to get their hips away, they are also putting themselves at danger of just being sat down. So it was good to sort of compound what they learned from what I could see. Not entirely sure. I reckon I could have done one more game, but I looked at it from the idea of most people don't even understand how to get people down to the ground once they have the entrance. So, what's the point in teaching an entrance to duck under there, like, here's a collar tie, and now what we're going to do is bend them down so that they lift up, and then we're going to go around the back, we're going to secure, and then from here we can then try and take them down. Nobody, like, A, people aren't going to remember it, and B, like, the amount of times you see, like, people fucking find themselves there in takedown sparring, and they still don't know how to take people down, is just, it's intense. Like, there's just a heap of it, trust me. Well, from what I can see, anyway. So, excuse me. Sorry, I'm boring you. I'm boring me. Yeah. So, what I believe is going to happen here, and maybe we should be doing 2 weeks of takedowns so that we can work on some entries. But ultimately, like, there's only 3 ways you can take someone down. You can either put them forward, you pull them back, or you lift them up, fucking dump them, right? So if that's the case, then, and you can get there. Like, we will do some games maybe a bit later on in the week as to how to get there. But for the time being, I just want to get, like, the end connection, whatever that is, and then put them on their butt. Like, that's what that's going to be. But yeah, so what could I have done better? I think I did. I think the planning was good. As I said, it was the first time I've rocked up to a takedown class. Like, yeah, let's go. And I think because there's this thing of, it's not going to be, necessarily 1,000 times getting taken down where you're not, you're not resisting, so you end up going flying and smacking stuff. I think that's a key thing. And as I've heard a couple of the people that have come before me, you're teaching timing and you're teaching balance, and these are two things that you can't do in a technique-based, economy. If you're trading techniques, you're not teaching timing. You're not teaching that balance, the feeling of putting your weight on someone and pushing back, seeing what their reaction is. You're not training any of that. All you're simply training is the basic mechanical potential, and even then, as the studies show, like, you're probably not teaching that. You probably got one, I heard something the other day which was really cool. I'm pretty sure Greg Souders says it, but for years I was like, black belts can take 10-20 years to get in BJJ. It's not like karate or something like that. Now, I'm not saying karate's gone off and improved their training methodology, but holding it to be a 10-year degree, looking at that now, it smacks of cultism. It just smacks of, we have the juice, and it just makes me think, like, all you need to be in order to do this technique based stuff, all you need to be is a step ahead of someone, and you know, you don't even need to be that far ahead skills wise, and you can still kind of own them, if that makes sense. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, found myself a lot more in the zone, seeing some cool shit as well, like what the guys were coming out with, you know, the insights that they were gaining from it were exactly what we're looking for. You know, maybe not in the same terminology, but yeah, it was great. So anyway, this is Sam Battlefield. I'm going to leave it there because yeah, I'll probably have some better ones for you later this week. Peace.